let's go ahead and open up that new project. If you haven't already, we're going to create. Where's my mouse cursor? All right. I know it seems weird that there would be a game called Snow with a dragon in it, but it's true. All right.
Is it perhaps the dragon melting the snow?
No. The dragon, actually the snow forms around the dragon. In ghost form, it actually looks pretty cool. So, the first thing we need to do is actually make some snow. All right, so I'm going to delete my cat, and I'm going to paint. And up here in the costume, see how it says 0 by 0? That's going to be the size of the snow or the sprite. So I'm just going to make mine about 50 by 50. I'm not going to make it purple though.
What do you mean? Purple's the best color.
Well,
Snow is obvious.
maybe not for snow.
What do you mean?
I'm not saying it's a bad color.
What do you mean?
I like it. So I'm going to get rid of the outline. There. So now mine's 118 by 48, and that's.
How do you make it a 50?
Well, first of all, you make it a square
Oh, what?
or a circle.
A square?
Square.
And then you take out the corner. So mine's 54 by 50. 2 by 50. All right, 51 by 50 is close enough.
You can just share.
And then that makes it purple.
All right. So we got our snowball. We're going to click on code, and then we need to make. I strongly suggest you make a black background.
What about dark blue? What dark blue?
Okay. Well,
Very dark blue.
whatever you feel like is going to be dark enough. I'm going with black. If you want to go with dark blue, okay.
I got 50 by 50 exactly.
Good. That's excellent. All right. I'm going to delete my first background.
How do you make the outline out there?
Magic.
Thank you.
How do I take out the outline?
I got yellow.
All right. All right. I named it snow. You don't have to name it snow. And one last thing. Hey, please make sure that your snowball, you might have some problems later. Make sure your snowflake is centered.
Oh.
That's always a good idea. Always make sure your sprites are centered, otherwise they're going to end up funky later. I can only tell you that I've corrected a lot of problems that were based on uncensored sprite. Okay. Hey, I really don't want to talk over anybody. No, talk over. Okay. All right, let's start with the event. And other people don't want to not be able to hear me. They want to hear me. Okay, so you start with your trigger, obviously, or your event. Yeah, this is, I have notes in there and that sort of thing. Okay, always. So down at the bottom here, can't see it. Right here, we're going to do the pen. 10 is always good. I'm going to start with an erase all. The top,
Erase all.
yes, erase all.
So 10.
You're like, why are we doing that? Well, we'll get there. Don't worry.
Otherwise it'll just pile and pile and pile.
Okay. Hide and then set to 10%. Okay. So go to looks. And we're going to set size to 10%. 10% of 50 will make your snowflake about 5.
You have to, I thought you have to press hide, set.
No.
You don't have to hide it?
Let's go with this. No, you don't have to hide it. We're going to hide it now, but you want to set everything so that it hides. You'll see how all this comes together. If you just follow the code, like, okay, erase all means the first thing it will do is erase everything. Okay. That's a pen anyway. All right. And then we need to put a forever and a close. Okay. Forever loop. And then create a clone of myself. Now, before we start coding the clone, coding the clone, we need to put just a quick little weight here. I'm going to say weight 0.03. 0.03. So 3/100 of a second. Because snow comes down it comes down fairly quick when you think about it.
0.0.
But it's not like rain. But it's not like one snowflake falls and then 5 seconds later another snowflake falls. It might feel like it the first couple of snows of the season. But so this is how we obviously have snow. Thank you for this is how you make the clone. Now we're going to code the clone. I just wanted to point that out for all you who are needing to take a picture of it and whose mouse is actually mine right now. New keyboard and mouse. All right, let's code the clone. So when I started the clone, join the empire. That's the first thing. You don't have to join it. You're part of the empire. When I started the clone, we're going to be doing all this. But we'll do it one step at a time. It's okay. So, go to take a picture of the next time.
Whoa.
All right. And since it's going to be coming from the top, we want it anywhere at the top. So we're going to say pick random -170 to 170. That doesn't cover enough space. -220 to 220. Because remember, it's 240 from 0 and -240 from 0 across. So 480 total. All right. And then our y is going to be all the way at the top. That's the 170 we want. Is everybody with me?
Yes.
That took a turn I didn't expect. All right. So next is we're going to change the size. Okay. Why? Because we don't want it to be one size snowflake. That's not really how it works.
It totally is. No, it's perfect.
Although I'm certain that with the trillions of snowflakes that have fallen on Earth and through the history of the Earth, that at least 2 of them have been equal in looks. Yes. What did I say we were doing? Changing the size. Okay. Don't do percentage. We're change the size by, and we're doing 1, 2 to 3. What did I do last time? 0 to 3. Okay. Okay. So what this is doing is changing the size. And then we're going to get into the crazy stuff. Oh, then we finally show. That's 1 to 3. Now we show it. Let's show it. That's 1 to 3. Oh, yeah. All right. Now we show the snowflake and we start coding it to fall.
Yeah. That's fun. I'm enthusiastic. What did I do?
Okay. So obviously we click forever. Well, by now it should be obvious. And for you, it's obvious. Okay, we're going to change it by 3. So the first thing is changing y. And I say 3 as a, what do you call that number? Negative 3? I know it's -3, but with an absolute number. The absolute value of -3 is 3. Yeah, well, video game design is like 80% math. All right, and then not just because snow doesn't just go straight down. It looks all fluffy and it shakes. Okay, it wanders its way down to the earth. So we're going to change the x by pick random -3 to 3. Please.
Oh, probably here.
All right. So this x, change x. All right, I'm gonna. So for notes wise, I want to show you all. We haven't done any documentation, so I'm gonna add a comment, and I can say here. I right click on wherever I'm. Okay, and I'm gonna say snow. Well, my keyboard.
What is this?
All right.
Dude, it's like a sparkle ring.
This is ridiculous.
There we go.
Oh, good. I'm so happy for you.
It actually looks really good. I'm happy.
Well, I'm irritated right now because my keyboard is
No.
okay.
It's like Rango.
Snowfall for this, and then this is the fluttering. Okay, this is what makes the snow look like it's snow, as opposed to just white things falling. Okay?
It's fluttering too fast.
Yeah.
It's fluttering. Yeah, it is.
All right.
That's a bit less.
Now, here's where we start getting into.
That's right.
We need to put in an if then, because we gotta have the snow actually. So okay, let's just take a look right now. So we click flag. Look, the snow falls. Yay.
It's so going to the right. Mine
You did
goes to
negative,
what?
negative 3. It's not negative, negative 3. It's just negative.
Mine goes
It is
to what?
mistake. You didn't need to do negative, negative.
Yeah.
I have two.
Just outside frustration. See?
What? I did.
How dare I? Negative, negative 3.
Well, negative, negative 3 is the same as putting
Talk about a double
So
negative.
it's always changing by 3. 80% of those classes have.
Well, it's 3 to 3.
Yeah. Okay, now our snow is fluttering, and it's not gonna look. Oh,
You need to make it delete when it touches the
yeah.
edge. Or touches the bottom.
Yeah, because you're only able to have, I think it's 1,000 clones at once.
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they'll come spawn.
Okay,
the thing is.
so right now, my mouse is not stop being this way. Okay, so if I do my delete this clone now,
You can actually walk
Keep freezing.
oh no wonder. Okay. So if I say it falls, just like in the beginning of the snow season, it melts pretty quickly. So if we just say if, nope,
not touching edge because it spawns at the bottom. So it's an edge.
What depends where you spawn at the top.
Okay.
Changed it.
Here's how I'm gonna do it.
You changed the Y.
Slightly.
If y is less than negative 170, there. So now we got this. If it's less than 170, see it melts as soon as it touches the ground.
No, always 1 second.
Yeah, this is kind of fun. So there's one way of doing it.
Easy.
Whoa.
Hey, so.
But
Oh, that's a simulation. Oh, what did you do?
That looks strange.
so now we don't want it to melt. So here's what we do. We go to our pen and we're just gonna grab this underneath erase all, it's called stamp. As soon as you do that,
I know what you're doing now.
it starts building up. The stamp makes the clone permanent without making the clone permanent. So now it can go forever because you can only have 1,000. We can only have 1,000, but now we can have a pretty much infinite number. Yeah. The pass is right there next to the board. Okay, but we're gonna go a step farther. Okay, why? Because it's fun. Does everybody have what we have so far? Okay.
How do you make it so like stacks on top of it?
That's what we're gonna do next. Okay, so this part of the code is land. That's it. It's gonna land on the ground. There we go. And I'm making a note of that. You can make notes of things too. This is called documentation, and yes, people in industry do this. Yeah, right? And there's all kinds of different ways, depending on which language of code you're using, there's all kinds of ways to do that. All right, so let's grab another if. Go to control, grab another if then. And we're going to go to sensing. If touching color, we're going to click on this little color and we're going to choose the whitest possible white we can. Okay? Hopefully it's the same color as the other one. Well, they'll all be the same color.
Use that thing on the bottom. It doesn't really matter. Yeah. Target.
All right. And somehow it ended up black.
Because you shifted it last second. Weird because
There we go. All right. So it's touching color white. Guess what we're gonna do? We're just gonna duplicate the stamp and delete this clone and do the exact same thing. Touching color white, stamp, delete this clone. And now look.
exactly.
Uh-oh. Some of it's piling up in midair.
I mean, it makes sense.
Why does it stay in there? Mine just goes down.
Why does it stop falling in midair at all?
Makes sense.
No, I'm saying.
Mr. Travis. Mr.
I
Travis.
think,
Kind of looks like coral.
yeah.
Mr. Travis.
Yeah.
Why does it stop falling in midair at all?
Okay.
Coral's past installed.
Well,
Now there's formations in the
you can play with the amount of time they wait in order to make that not happen. But I think what I think is the remarkable thing about this is you can create this art with using random numbers, and you can see how similar and different a lot of them can be with the randomness of it all.
I like mine. It doesn't stop piling
really
in
looks
midair.
like
It doesn't do it.
Okay, there is one more magical treat.
what? Red.
Okay, here's the magical treat. So this right here, I'm going to document this one too, add comment. Snowdrift. There might be snowdrift, right? Because once the snow starts getting cold enough, and they call it sticking, right? It's not melting on the roads anymore. It piles up on the grass, and then so now we have a situation where this school might just be canceled. Coincidentally enough, I'll be tonight and tomorrow. There's a snow advisory in the mountains, and there's a snowstorm advisory in the mountains until Saturday night. What?
Why did it stop piling in midair?
Okay.
Look at this. Is there any no snow technique for graphics?
Are you stopping?
All right. So the final one that I'm going to show you, and you can do other things with this in the future. I don't mind. But first, we're going to make another sprite. Choose a sprite.
No, I cannot.
Make it whatever you want. I'm going to use the bear.
I'll use the baseball bat.
Okay.
I'm gonna use the baseball bat.
I don't mind. Okay, let's code it real quick. We're just going to go. And it doesn't. Honestly, when you code this second sprite, it doesn't take a whole bunch. Quiet, please. All it really matters is change. Please be quiet. Set the ghost effect to 100, so it's completely gone. And then just move it wherever you want to move it. So now, okay. So now the bear is gone. Okay. Then just leave it at this. Now go back to your snow and add one more if then. Go to sensing. If touching bear or whatever your animal, baseball bat. Well, considering we just did this together right now. Okay, cool. There's a phone call.
You also wanted to do this together.
Yeah. No, she just came down there. Uh-huh. Gosh. Alex. Oh, I know. You probably heard my disappointment too. Okay. If touching bear, let's just do the same thing. All right. So now it's gonna pile up on bear. And the invisible bear is now visible. Yes.
There's a way to save yourself a little bit of time. So what you can do is you can just do background color or
Yeah.
and then just place it on.
The thing is that gets confusing for people if they want to do only one of them. But thank you. I don't disagree with you at all. All right. So now,
It's better if you show us so we can see his sadness.
now you have a snow simulation that you could use on your next game, which we will start tomorrow. Today, we are going to be, I just want you to experiment with the snow drifts, change the time, change where it drifts, try and see if you can make, I would love to see this. If you can make it windy and make the wind blow the snow sideways, but then also, I mean, that's easy, I think, but if you can make the snow come from the sides when that happens, so it doesn't just totally make the snow go away and then there's no snow in here, that would be an extra challenge. Anybody who can do that will get a large candy bar. Not an extra size one, but like a regular, not a Jolly Rancher, much bigger than that. Like the 75-cent one, they're $1. I don't have to see cost anymore.
Oh, I got
All right. Go ahead and keep going. You'll know. So use a variable or the arrow key to change the wind blowing the snow. So like the snow would blow one way, but then you don't just have a flat spot here. Like the snow would still come from the side of the whole thing. Yeah.
I understand. I don't understand the code, and I can use the
So you have the rest of the period to experiment and
I like
figure out new things. Huh?
Do we have to use this for our winter project?
No, it does not have to be. But I wanted to give you guys, with it being winter, 12 days, and no. But I want to make sure we use that. So this is the code. For those of you who are watching this at home, because I'm going to be posting this on YouTube, you can pause it and read this now. I'll run it real fast one more time. Maybe I'll even take off the time. Let's see. Good. And two. Yeah. Did you figure that one out? Change the amount of time it takes to be made. This is what it looks like.